Mata, Dominican Republic captain, 35 years old, expecting her first child later this summer. So important to make sure that Ariana Rodriguez is ready for the competition. And there's a first point. That'll do nicely to set them on their way.
Well, one thing that Marcos has asked from his team is we need aggressive serves. He said, quote, we need to break down Japan's reception.
So that's a step in the right direction. Wada goes big and off the hands, takes the point.
Well, right on cue, another person he told me about was Wada, because she's really their leading point scorer, and he's like, we're gonna just let her get some points. We can't get phased by that, but can we limit the other players?
One of them being Ishikawa, is just on serve as Martinez takes that. That's not the greatest pass. So Seki to weave some magic. Great play by Gaila. This has got to go over and has reached it. So chance to build again. Once more, recycled. Big hit by Wada, playing an opposite slot.
Well, we give the Dominicans so much credit for how strong their attack is, but Wada can't be understated as well with her powerful arm swing. Goes off of that block. It's Gaila that gets the bulk of it.
And that's exactly what Abbas wants, to increase this aggression for the Japanese. Nice pick up by Brali Martinez. Switch to Gaila. Wada blocked out then. Comes once more. Juggling with Airi. And then Wada. What a great dig that is from Ariana. Good start. This. What a great point. And then at the hands, Yoshino takes it for Japan.
Well, let's look at this attack. Yoshino there decides to go down the line at the last second.
Block arriving late. Nice pass from Bralin Martinez, who goes, that's a bit too close to the net for Bralin Martinez. And Gaila will happily take that point off the block.
Yeah, Yoshino did a nice job starting it off by getting the block for Japan. Once again, that's something that really Japan's been working on, their block. You might not see a lot of stuff blocks, but how many times can they get a triple block? That's something that Farhad Akbash has challenged his team to do in this match today. Triple block more often.
3 blocks that whole tournament so far for Japan. Extraordinary.
Extraordinarily low.
Yes, absolutely. And yet, who could well go top of the VNL, all 18 teams?
Well, and the thing is, it's not about stats for Farhad Akbash. The thing is, yesterday they didn't get a single block stuff against Canada, but he loved their block because there was positive block touches and they were funneling all the defense to the players.
Trying to introduce this idea of a big block, a triple block, and that's a heck of a power shot there, Ishikawa.
Well, the captain's done a great job of elevating not only her game, but her leadership with the departure of Serena Koga. There's a big seam for her. She goes right at Rodriguez, big smiles.
2 words, Ishikawa and Seki talking. Oh, yes, nailed, perfect, Gaila.
Well, Gaila went over top of Japan's block here. This is a great set from Rodriguez, nice and high. And watch for Gaila, just with her athleticism, to possibly go over top of the block more of this game.
Can she follow up those 25 points in the last match against the Netherlands? Because if she can, Japan could be in trouble.
Well, here's that fire and ice, because Japan's offense is so quick and springy. This is just given out to Yoshino, and she goes quick off the hands. There's no time for Gaila to react and even pull her hands down when she notices that angle.
It's a power serve, if ever there was one. Matos does well. Ishikawa switches play. Oh, what a block, my word. That's what they're up against.
Well, this is Dominican's game plan. How much can they shut down other players? And here's a massive block against Yoshino. The double block, they took all of the line away. Gaila putting the pressure on Japan's reception. This is a marked ball right in between the seam of the two players. Akbash was not happy with their serve receive against Canada. Can they improve it here?
That's another cracker from Gaila. On the slide, Shimomura marks her return. Well, we got ourselves a match here, don't you think?
Yep, and Shimomura is completely fresh. She was watching the game against Canada from the stands, not even on the bench. And she comes in and whips this ball cross court.
Top server now for Japan, Yoshino, new to the team. That's exactly what they would have wanted. And here comes the follow-up. Thank you. Started it and finished it.
Yeah, and Iwasawa, who's in for libero for Japan, decides to take that ball. I like that take. You see Akbash on the side was actually calling it out, but it's better to let it drop, or take it, than drop out.
Ooh, good pickup by Brownie Martinez. On the slide. They're really on it. There's a different feel to the Dominican Republic. Maybe that day off has refreshed them, but they're absolutely cooking.
Well, here's the thing. They rested, they studied, they trained, and to have a day off after 3 matches straight in a row, it feels like a week off.
Oh, another great block. Kineri Martinez.
Well, this is massive. Martinez closing that block to Rodriguez, getting her hands there. And right now, they have really limited Ishikawa and what she can do. Watch Japan maybe start to try to get it to Wada, even in the backcourt.
There's a 12-centimeter difference average between Japan and the Dominican Republic in terms of height, and it's telling at the moment. Ooh, just long.
So there's an error from Ishikawa. Remember, she was blocked big time in the last rally. Tries to go high off of hands here, but another thing the Dominicans wanted to do, how much can they overload Ishikawa? So she's going to be one of their serving targets. They want her to do a lot of reception and then also hit. Just make her think about doing a lot of actions. We're going to see a challenge here for Japan. Block touch. They believe that Ishikawa made contact.
Hello.
Ooh, there is one just off the pinky finger. Tiny, tiny touch, but great challenge.
That's a big difference. I know that sounds silly, 9-7 to 8-all, but in the context of this encounter, fresh Dominican Republic, Japan knowing they're up against it. Team who go the distance, they're quite happy. They're the marathon runners, really. Japan, very much the sprinters. Longest match they've gone is 1 hour 20. Dominican Republic, every match they played so far has gone over 2 hours. Good serve. Oh.
Well, you don't see Janeri Rodriguez ace very often. That's the libero. She's in here for Brenda Castillo, who's taking this week off for load management. That's a ball that is floating and dropping right before it makes contact with Rodriguez.
Shimomura developing, showing her value to the team. Highly regarded by her coach. Good swing. Back court. Nicely by Matos.
Yeah, Matos is... I've liked her game so far. I think she just needs to build her consistency. I'm sure she's working on that as well. But that's a really nice, just a safe swing to that backcourt corner.
In for Peña Isabel, who's building herself up for the final 2 weeks, or the next 2 weeks of the VNL, as much as the World Championships. Block is there, but this time it's out, and Japan take the point.
Yeah, great follow. The serve wasn't as tough from the Dominicans as they wanted. It was deep, but easy for the Japanese to handle. And remember, the Dominicans are trying to put a lot of pressure on their serve.
Off the net, but here's Gaila. Whoa. There's a rocket. On-serve rotation now. Ariana going deep. What a perfectly placed shot that is from Yoshino.
Well, the thing is, they'll practice that. Oftentimes, they'll have like buckets or markers in the back corner of the court. And in drills, you try to aim for them, and I'm sure Yoshina has hit them many times.
Well, the bucket would have gone flying there. Nice tip.
Whoa.
Clever. Oh, how'd you do that? Even clever from Ishikawa. But big chance. Oh, my word. Arias had that on a plate, and how often have we seen that? It's there to be hit and won.
Ishikawa, her ability to chase this ball down, wow. There's a pickup, just enough of a touch, but it's hit out in the end.
That was a very deep serve. Martinez took that, and then she'll take this as well. Did well to beat the block.
There's a net violation for Dominicans. Yeah, here's the thing, the set's great. That's just undisciplined play.
Good service run this for Ishikawa. Oh my word! It had gone down. Just have they really got that one up?
Well, it's 4 contacts, so obviously you can only have 3 contacts. And it was just so quick moving that all the players were trying to make some kind of a quick reaction to the ball to get a hand on it.
Seki takes a look. The block is there. Big chance now. Ariana. Gaila. Thank you.
Well, here's the free ball given up. And after that free ball comes back to the Dominican Republic, Gaila just pounds it.
Made up 2 points, so that early Japan break. They've been ahead by 2 points twice so far in the match, but the Dominican Republic have responded instantly. Concentration, concentration. That's the key word from Marcus Kwiat to his team in the build-up. It's another absolute thunderbolt.
Well, here's the thing about the Dominicans, is I find every match there's a different player that steps up to the challenge. Oftentimes it's been Martinez, who's leading the Volleyball Nations League right now with points. Right now it's Gaila that's getting a lot of the sets, but she's putting them away. And here's the thing, Rodriguez, she notices that. She's like, okay, well, why wouldn't I just go back to the well? Keep going with my hot hitter.
That'll do. Just a nice swing, keeping her in the groove, Wada.
Yeah, Japan's leading scorer. Look at that. In the blocker for the Dominican Republic, Martinez just completely released, giving Wada 1 block. So much cross-court angle to work with.
Okay. She can pack a punch with the serve if you're watching Japan for the first time. Here she is. Skims the net. Matos picks it up. Gaila will try and put it away, but Ishikawa wise to that. What a good block. Exactly as the coach had planned.
And Iwasawa is so close to covering this ball. Watch her. She's there. Well, I didn't quite see her, but we see how big that Dominican block is. There's the fire.
They've lost 5 of the last 6 meetings, the Dominican Republic, against Japan. So they need as much fire as possible. And on that occasion, it was a bit more delicate for Yoshino.
Yeah. Well, again, changing up the attack angle. This time tipping it off of the hands. That's exactly what she was intending on doing. Rodriguez reaching.
Wow. You can see why she's their top server.
Well, and I'm surprised Rodriguez has been aced twice in this first set alone. Here's the thing. This match is occurring fairly early in the day in Canada, welcoming in viewers from all over the world, but it's a little bit different because these teams are used to playing later. Let's listen in.
Pendiente ahora, buen pase, chiquita por adelante, Gaila está aquí atrás, Maciel acelera para allá, y vamos muchachos, vamos para ver, Maciel, para en el bloqueo, un paso para la derecha, siempre exagera para la derecha, deja que toque aquí, no aquí, la opuesta, ¿está bien? Principalmente si está sola, ahí va, si está el doble declarado, ahí tú cierras la mano, bola en mano, pero está sola, un paso a la derecha.
Yeah, just to finish my thought, your circadian rhythm for most of these players in pro leagues, you're used to playing a little bit later in the afternoon or the evening. So the circadian rhythm is kind of off for this. So I'm not surprised that some players individually might be having slower starts. You shouldn't be able to tell, but it is different when you're used to just having a serve and pass earlier in the day.
They arrived with a lot of Dominican Republic music playing, whereas the Japanese were just warming up very, very quietly. The difference between fire and ice in the warm-ups. Shimomura on the slide, and they're now 3 clear.
Well, one thing that I was talking to the Japanese about before this match was they'll have their big team meeting together with all the players involved, and then they'll separate into small groups. And Shimomura, she leads the middle blocker group, and then they'll discuss strategy there. And so Shimomura, when she was off yesterday, was taking some notes in the stands just about what the middles could be doing better.
Off to play her volleyballing career next season, but she seems to be a cornerstone, a key cornerstone for this new coaching regime. Matos looking to bring the Dominican Republic closer to the Japanese points total. Little tip, well read by Bralin Martinez, got down really well. Slide once more for Shimomura, but Matos is there. Free ball, what can Japan do with this? Swing it to Ishikawa. Oh, she's put that wide, hasn't she? She has.
Yeah, and Ishikawa right now is seeing a lot of action, and that's what the Dominicans wanted to do. They're feeding her a lot of balls on defense. They're serving her a lot. It's almost an overload for Ishikawa. I want to see how she deals with that pressure.
Let's see where this ball goes then. Matos once more. Ambitious.
Going after it. And that was the Dominicans' plan. They have to. You have to try to do something with the serve reception for Japan. Akbash, before the match, said he was not happy with their serve and pass when they beat Canada. Canada put a lot of pressure. We saw Kira Van Rijk possibly set a world record that hasn't been confirmed yet, but 113 kilometers per hour. Can the Dominicans put those serves in too?
Nice pass. Seki quickly onto it. Oh, hello. That was a sudden change of attack. Japan getting away with that one.
Well, it's so smart. Nobody's expecting that. That's razzle-dazzle. That is a planned play.
Do you think Ishikawa was there? Because that was almost
100%.
behind her.
I love it.
I thought she was advancing quickly though. Slam through.
Irie here. She's hustling out to close that. They almost had this, and I think that's where Irie's having some communication, saying, oh, we could have had that. Could have had that block. Add to their total of 3. It's pretty incredible just to think about how much of the volleyball match is determined by blocks, and that Japan can stay so elite with such a low number of stuffs. It's incredible, and that's really showing. I love to use it as an example of You don't need to be a strong blocker to be a strong volleyball player, but you've got to make up for it in other skills, like defense, ball control, ability to control the ball when you attack. Raise the other parts of your game.
That's exactly what Japan have done. And here's an interesting switch. Peña Isabel on early. And that'll do nicely for Ishikawa.
Yeah, and see, that's that overload play. You get her the ball in the serve. She also hits the ball. Sometimes players like that rhythm, though. I call it the beach volleyball rhythm, because in beach volleyball, you know you're hitting or touching the ball every single rally, maybe twice.
Seki, such a cunning server. That's a big hit by Martinez, just unloads.
Yeah, and expect Martinez to get the ball in tight situations for the Dominican Republic. She's their get out of jail free card, if you will.
Lovely cushion pass by Ishikawa. Arias was up, waiting. Recycled again, and Ishikawa goes big, and off the hands, gets the point.
Another look at the captain's point. She is attacked down the line off of the hands 3 or 4 times successfully in this set. And if I'm the Dominicans, I'm either saying, okay, let's commit completely to line, or get your hands up there, do something different on the ball.
Buen pase, buen pase, buen pase, botamos eso, vamos, vamos. Llevamos para allá el recibo, ¿verdad? Vamos a seguir, vamos. Confianza, confianza en el ataque, vamos.
They know they're in a match. They know they've got all the experience. They've got the know-how. Can they put into practice all that they've been talking about, as Claire's been saying? What Marcus Pierre and the team have gone through.
Well, and just again, Ishikawa is now in the back court. But when she comes back to the front court, I'm curious if the Dominicans change their block at all. If Rodriguez or Gaila, whoever is out there blocking Ishikawa, if they try to take more of that line away.
Japanese captain on serve. Gaila unloads. So does Yoshino. Oh, double block. Who's counting?
I call this a pokey play, almost a cobra that Yoshino used at the very beginning of the rally. We're not going to see it. We're just going to see her attack here off the hands. But she got the ball up without getting called for a lift because it was just so direct on her knuckles.
Close to the net. There's the joust. Net touch, and that is 5 set points for Japan. They suddenly accelerated. Martinez, Arias, middle blocker, and Gaila. Seki, Ishikawa, Airi, Wada, Yoshino, and Shimamura. So 2 starting 6s, unchanged. And here comes Seki. Whoa. And there goes the ball, and there comes the first point.
Well, this ace drops right in front of Martinez. It wasn't intended to be that short of a serve. I think it just got some kind of a wind gust forced it down.
Another little tactic that the Japanese have been working on, the drop serve.
Yeah, Gaila right now leading all players on the court right now. Gets the first kill for the Dominicans. That's her 10th point of this match.
If at first you don't succeed, hammer it again.
Yeah, and hammer it, she did. And here's the thing, when it comes right back at you and you've attacked the first ball, usually you're kind of out of sync a bit. No, she did this so naturally.
Nice pass. That's a good hit. Well angled, high off the hands, and too much for the defense in the backcourt.
So typically where Japan's really improved their block is making these positive block touches. So Airi touches it, but it's just too deep in the court. If she can kind of change the angle of her hands, it's going to pop up like a free ball into the middle of the court.
Arriving bang on cue, just flying athletically, elegantly through the air and delivering.
Yeah. Wonderful back row attack, and Seki brings Airi in front of her, so that moves the Dominican block, leaving a lot of open space for Ishikawa.
It's a big hit again, isn't it?
Well, both teams are really going back and forth. I like this rhythm. Both teams are into it. I think the level's taken a step from set one. As the Dominican Republic said, Japan is on another level compared to every team. They're hanging with them right now.
Ariana quickly to that one, and here comes Gaila in off the line. Ooh, that's very close. Little joust for Shimomura, great experience. And then Gaila blasts Ishikawa, but it's still not going to ground. And now it is. Yoshino, cross court.
Mega rally here at TD Place in Ottawa. And there were some plays here. One really tight ball at the net stuck out to me, and Shimomura went up, played it, won the joust against Arias. And there is a big height differential between those two players.
Flying through the air water, she's going to take off from the service line and arrive bang on cue.
Well, this is a great back row set. Seki leading Wada, giving her so much of a runway so that she can really approach with power.
Good line, runway. She was ready for takeoff, absolutely. Gaila does seem to like playing Japan. The last match she got 25 points in the VNL. Still went down 3-1. Here she comes, and there she goes.
Yeah, you know what? I remember as a player really enjoying playing some teams. For whatever reason it was. Maybe it was the way they served, maybe it was the way they blocked or hit. I liked playing them. And so maybe for Gaila, Japan's one of those teams she gets up against. Maybe she likes hitting against this kind of block.
Which team did you like playing against the most?
I really liked playing the Dominicans.
Shimomura takes that. Why, out of interest? Because we're watching the Dominicans now. So what is it that brought the best out of you?
Well, the thing is, they were a tough serve, and I think I mentioned this before. They look at you when they're serving you, and I don't mind that, because sometimes I'll point to the ground and I say, okay, yeah, serve me, test me. But they have big hitters, and so it's really rewarding when you get the dig. It feels so good.
There's a follow-up question, which I'll have in a minute. Let's see who gets this point. Oh, what a hit that was from Ishikawa.
Again, she's scored so many balls down the line. This one's got a bit of a cross-court angle, but they're just giving her so much line. And I think Rodriguez needs to change her adjustment there on defense.
Which team did you not like playing against them?
I'll have to think about that one. Off the record, I'll talk to you.
Oh, lovely finish. Yuneli Martinez.
Well, Martinez, Matos, those outside hitters need to get going for the Dominicans.
Double block for Ishikawa, and then Gaila follows up, and somehow Wada keeps that in play. What a rally this is. It's a long way off the net. So free ball, Japan. Seki directing. My word, what a finish that was. Cool as you like from Shimimura.
Oh man, both of these teams were just thumping the ball. And incredible defense on both sides. Matos had one where she just straps it on, pops it up. And in the end, it was the Dominicans forced to give a free ball up, and Japan said, nah, it's over.
It's a good serve. Shimimura throws herself forward. What a dig that is. 4 touches. But it's fascinating since you talked about what she did, came here to watch, made notes, talked it through. Just watching her, never mind the ball, just watch Shimimura, number 3 for Japan, what she does, where she's directing, how she's moving.
Yeah, sometimes I get distracted by watching a single player in the rally and how they're moving and the fluidity at the net. I highly recommend doing it. Oh!
What a good block that was.
Such a strong block. Hands over, nicely pressed over. That's textbook as well. Taking away a path from the hitter.
One of the tallest players on court, way taller than many Japanese players there, Branin Martinez. Such strength as well in those arms. Here she comes again. Clever. That was Yoshino desperately reaching. Oh, and Ishikawa's overreached.
Well, and here's the thing, Marcos is happy. Right now, the Dominicans are up by a point, but they've put a lot of pressure on Ishikawa, and that's what they were intending to do. Can you kind of slowly grind away at a team throughout a match and just hang on enough to beat them in the end? That's what he's hoping.
Take them the full distance. That's what they want. Get them out of their comfort zone. The block is there, and this time Ishikawa gets it off the hand, so but they're ready for her.
No, I think I figured out the Dominicans' block strategy with Ishikawa. Her strongest attack angle is when she's facing cross court and just coming in with so much power. So if you can leave her line, great, but you got to do a better job digging her line.
Height and power, Guilherme Martinez making the most of it. This is looking quite tasty for the Dominican Republic. 2 points clear.
Yeah, the ball is tight. Where's the coverage? That's uncharacteristic for Japan.
Well, there's your point.
Well, here's what was really interesting. There were 3 defenders down the line for the Dominicans, and they were blocking. So the fact that they couldn't get that dig up, it just shows how quick Ishikawa's attack is.
Long way off the net. Oh, she's still done it. Wow. And there's a smile. She loves it. She's like, you can tell when she's singing.
She's shocked by it because the thing is, she was like just going, you know, as hard as she could, and I think she's surprised that she got the point.
Takes a lot to crack a smile from Guyla, but it's rewarding when it eventually shines through.
So Wada hits into the antenna. Look at this, Japan trailing by 3.
Well, if you're neutral, that's what we want. They've got to work for it.
So you can call C quick if you want to play left side. If you want B, if you want right side, B quick clear. Okay. And anyways, when you have 2 attackers, call fast, even with I, because they go early to Yoshi. Yoshino and Mayu now. Okay, and you can also tip the middle in front.
Well, there's a lot of, you can see a lot of translations happening, but one thing I did pick up on is you can tip the middle. So Fairhead Akbash has clearly noticed that maybe there's a lot of pot available. It's basically that big space in the middle. Sometimes in French they call it the piscine, the pool.
Ariana to resume for the Dominican Republic, looking to capitalize in this prized three-point lead. Yoshino's available, and here she goes. The block's there, though. Tracking. Wada, the block's there as well. And it's another point for the Dominican Republic.
And Arias is practically dancing back to the huddle after getting this block. Oh, wow. She closes this at the very last second, but the amount she had to reach her arms, that was fantastic.
I think she's the team DJ because she arrived with the music as they walked in.
There's always somebody who's in charge of the aux cord, and it's probably the most important role on the team. More important than head coach.
Nice pass. Just not cutting through. Gaila Arias there once more. Martinez. Big power. And Yoshino eventually gets through.
Yeah, Yoshino in that back deep corner. Look how precise that was. And she was aiming for that corner.
Still 3 points to make up. Middle blocker, Airi on serve. What a great serve that is. Whoa! Take an ace. Exactly what the coach was hoping for. They've been working so hard on their serve. They know they can score. And for all the preparation, Marcus Piat talking there to Brian Martinez, ready for this. A little drop.
Well, she gets an ace, she gets a miss. See a little frustration there, but I think the payoff's worth it at this point.
Yeah. Time for a slide, said Shimimura.
Quick attack, Arias there. We saw that great reach a couple of plays ago with the block. That one is just too fast. She can't get there.
Switch here. So, Tsukasa, very highly regarded by the coach as a great setter. Small, but very clever, and a serving specialist too. Here she comes. Oh! Akimoto sent on, first swing, first point.
I love the entrance of Skasa too. Skasa's just like come in and done a really good job quickly of running this offense, and she is a shorty, but this is right out there. Perfect placement to Wada, or pardon me.
Akimoto, 18 years old. Big star in the making, according to the coach.
This is one of my favorite things about Volleyball Nations League is getting to know new players, seeing players coming off the bench. We know the classic stars, but who are the up-and-comers for Nations? And speaking of that, there's been a lot of chatter going around that the Dominican Republic, they don't have a lot of up-and-coming players, but we've spoken to some of the players this week. They say, no, we've got a next generation coming. You just haven't seen them yet because we keep bringing our veterans.
Speaking of which, here's Peña Isabel, 32 years old. Multi-Olympian. Ooh, nicely picked up by Yoshino. And then Akimoto under pressure, can't deliver that. And back out to three again, the Dominican.
Well, it was the right idea. She's going for that deep offhand shot.
calmly measured by Yoshino.
I was holding my breath because this was very close. And Marcos at first wasn't sure if it was in or out. Here's the replay. Oh, just tags the line.
Taken to international volleyball just as a coach who wanted more than 1,000 points in the most recent Japanese league, and that is an ace. Wow.
Well, if you needed to paint the perimeter of the court, let's just start using all of these attack and serve points from the Japanese, because they are going deep on the court.
Second ace of the match. 9 overall for the tournament.
Buen saque de ella, ese saque saltado de ella siempre es largo. Pendiente el cambio, Chiqui. Si cambia, el tuyo el cambio. ¿Está bien? Muchachas, de una vez hay un cambio. Estamos viendo el juego. El juego está bueno. El juego está bueno para nosotros. El cambiar esa rotación para que llegue el pase. Chiquita está jugando bien. Por adelante. Vamos. Va para ella. Por allá.
Hey, now, pop. Vamos, muchachos. Vamos a seguir. Vamos a seguir. Vamos.
Who's back on court first? Come on, let's be at it. That was a business face, wasn't it, didn't you think? Game face from Bralin Martinez.
Game face from all the Dominicans. They got onto the court first. I think they just want to keep going. They're up by 1.
They know what this means. If they can take down Japan, what a big lift that'll be. What a statement in the VNL 2025. That's in. Matos.
Well, she's got her game face on.
Top score in the match, Gaina now on serve. What a good serve and a good pickup, but Susaka's got to move very fast. Down the line, but somehow dubbed by Japan. But here's another wave of attack. Oh, what a great block that is. Huh.
Akimoto, 18 years old, comes in, and that is the kind of block that Japan is going to feed off of. 3 blocks entering this match. Absolutely shuts down one of the biggest hitters for the Dominican Republic.
There's a collector's item, and we can say we were there. We saw Japan block. They didn't have any in the match against Canada. They've had 3 in the tournament so far in 3 matches. Arias has about 3 for breakfast. Take that, Hineni Martinez. Listen, we're going to take this set, okay?
Well, and it's great pressure right now from the Dominicans, and this is what they do. They play high above the net. They hit the ball hard, and they serve hard. And we're starting to see Japan wobble for the first time.
It's just the test, in a sense, the coach will want. Yes, it's great to win, but you learn more when it's a real battle, and even when you lose, especially when you lose. Got through the seam there, Rodriguez and Hineni Martinez.
Ishikawa just continues to add to her massive point total, and she's watching the blockers as she's up there in the air to see if they're close, to see if they're still moving, and that's where she goes off of Martinez's hands.
Seki back on court and on serve. Straight out.
She was really going for the hands, hopeful. Triple block for the Dominicans, that's all she really had. I'm curious about the tip though, because back in a timeout a while ago, I heard Farhad Akbash say the tip in the middle is available, but right now Japan hasn't tipped. One thing that makes it hard, because it kind of gives it away, because Dominican Republic's block is so high, if you're going to tip, the ball actually has to travel further, giving your defense a more of a time to dig it.
Whoa! Wow, how did that get by? What a fantastic down the line.
Just one block, really quick set. inches to work with.
Inch as good as a mile, seemingly. Caraballo keeps that in play. Chance now. Ooh, Wada's very close to the net. Caraballo pops it up again, and Martinez will try to finish. Fantastic pickup by Urasawa. She's done it again. What a rally this is. Still can't get through. Unbelievable. Still we go. Geiler's smiling playing that free ball. Oh, and eventually, 4 hours later, what a rally on both sides of the net. And Japan are level.
I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. This was tremendous. And for a while, Irie, the middle blocker for Japan, was part of every single rally contact, making a block touch, playing the ball.
You see Fahad Akbas giving high fives to all his players come off as the Dominican Republic called a timeout. Wow!
Hey, buena defensa, bien luchado. Sube más la bola, no deje que llegue la antena, llegue siempre un poquito un metrico ahí. Vamos pelo juego, muchachos. Está bueno el juego, está bueno el juego.
If you wanted to see how good volleyball is, can we put that out and just send it everywhere?
Yeah, that's a really good rally.
I mean, unbelievable play.
Well, I believe it because I just saw it. And I feel like there's been a lot of rallies in Volleyball Nations League this week that have turned people who have just come to watch a match into volleyball fans permanently. I've heard from some fans, oh, I didn't know you couldn't touch the block. I didn't know you couldn't touch the net. Education.
Big swing, and no wonder Urasawa is jumping for joy because they're now back in the lead.
Yeah, Yoshino, she comes to the front net, so Ishikawa's in the backcourt. Expect to see more cross-court attacks. We've seen Ishikawa really trying to drive it down the line.
Cool as you like from Seki. And now Wada will try to finish, and off the block. That's gone out from Alias. Big, big, strong hands, but direction didn't quite match what she needed.
The ball came out of the block so fast and hit the ground out. There was no time for anybody to react. Wow.
Ishikawa turning the screw with another wonderful serve. That wasn't the best set, and that was trouble for Yoshino.
Here's something that's really exceptional about Japan, just one of the many traits, but usually you can't tell if it's a bad set because you don't see that many errors. They always put it over. So here's an uncharacteristic time, and then you're like, oh, well, was it a bad hit? No, it was actually a bad set.
Seki moves fast. Wada has to get close to the net. It's a juggle. It's a very close one, but and a tip again read by Seki. Japan just will not give up. Irresistible. That's high. What a great dig by Caballero. This is another classic. Oh, Yoshino gets the angle, gets the point.
Well, after both teams got to the 20-point marker, the temperature has turned up here at TD Place Arena. Caraballo in the backcourt made a phenomenal dig. That ball was almost at the advertising board when she played it.
Nice pass. Got it. Boom. Heidi is there. And then Yoshino gets it down so fast. And it's 3 set points like that.
This angle to go off second touch, amazing. Look at this dig. And then Yoshino pounds it away.
intercepted by Odi. And then Yoshino is unstoppable at the moment. And that is why she's been hailed as the next star, the successor to Kuga. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They were trailing and looked down and out in this second set, but they've come back. Wow, 25-21, and they lead by 2.
I think this is going to be a great building block for the Japanese team, because when you're beating teams so handily, but then you find yourself down by, they were down by 3 points at one point in this set, to come back, it's kind of like, okay, we've tasted what a loss could feel like. We don't want to let that happen. It wasn't even a loss, but you have to treat some of these moments like that to get building experiences.
Well, we're lucky because we're going to hear from Rob Snook very shortly. We're going to hear from both coaches getting the inside track on how that happened. Wow. That was, as you said, we get to the 20s. This was something else.
Yeah, 2 mega rallies where I kept thinking, okay, it's going to end here. And then somebody would get a hand on it. Keep the ball alive. Keep it going. Okay, let's take a look at some of these stats, though. There's Japan. That block. 4 blocks for the Dominican Republic. 22 attacks for Japan. That's incredible. Look at the Dominican Republic on the other hand. 10 and 11 in their 2 sets combined, and then 3 aces for Japan. They really, I could sense they had a different focus on the service line to make the Dominican Republic uncomfortable in serve receive. No errors for Dominicans though. That's crazy.
This is a crazy match.
Farhad, I'm fascinated by your team. You don't have a block point yet, and your team is dominating, at least at the end of the sets. What are you liking that you're seeing?
I disagree with you. Today our block organization is really good because they show where we have to defense. We are having good organization. I think for the entire week we can say that this is the best 2 sets that we played so far. Dominican Republic is pushing the limits, and they are very good about defense too. So I am sure this game will be a very difficult match. I hope we can keep the rhythm.
Well, you're putting on a great show for the fans. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Well, I love that he thinks these are the best 2 sets that Japan has played all week, so we're getting a treat. Now here are the attack zones for the Dominican Republic. 13% in the middle, most of them on the outside. That's Matos and Martinez. And then for Japan, looking at their attack zones, so Wada typically getting most of the balls. Well, no different here today. Just 4% in the middle, though. Simomura, Irie, they're going to want to get involved a lot more.
Rodriguez, you know, you guys are doing a lot of things really well in this game. What do you need to do to get over the hump?
Yeah, I think we just need to get a little bit better at converting the balls in transition and finding open court. I mean, got to respect Japan's defense. They pick up everything, and I think we just need to be a little bit better at finding what's open and exploiting what's they're struggling on that side.
I'm going to ask you a personal question. You're serving, you're so good, and so few faults. Who do you give credit to aside from yourself?
My father over there in the blue, he taught me this sport, and he taught me how to, it's kind of like a beach serve, so that you avoid the wind. So I run with the ball, and then I add a little bit of spin here and there, and 1 to 5, and it's pretty effective.
It's beautiful to watch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow, that's really amazing. I love.
Set 2 was won by Japan. Can they close out set 3? We're underway with Matos on serve.
Oh, and Rodriguez running right underneath the net to apologize to Yoshino. Great display of sportsmanship. And here's the thing, when you get hit in the face, it hurts a lot, first of all, but it kind of catches you off guard, and sometimes, you know, the tear ducts just start flowing. It's happened to me. I hate it. You just got to reset.
Still checking her eyes. Is she going to be targeted? She is indeed. That's where the serve arrow's into. Did very well, and even better for the team. They took the point.
Well, I'm so impressed because, yeah, Yoshino just gets pounded in the face. She's probably going to be the service target. If I'm going back, I'm also going to serve at her. Any player in the world would do that because you want to try to keep a rattled player rattled, but then she nails the pass, gets the side out.
But through a veil of tears, they took the point. Oh, clever by Brian Martinez, but somehow you can guess who. Seki is there. And Japan take the next point with a follow-up.
Nice little roll here. And sometimes the team rallies around a player who's faced some, internal match adversity. Yoshino now, front court, still recovering from what we call a six-pack. Six-pack is the name of it when you get hit in the face by a ball.
You'll love this. Thanks to Rob Stoop. Ariana's father is Elvis Rodriguez, who played many years on the beach and also professionally indoors in Switzerland. But he's done a great job. But can the Dominican Republic get this third set over the line, or is Japan going to take another clean sweep? Good swing. Oh.
Well, remember the percentage points of where their attacks have been? I think for Japan it was 50%, 44% were out of that side, and that's all WADA.
Bastante separada esa bola, no, esa bola pegada tiene que botar el bloqueo ahí para, principalmente que sabemos que esa es la principal atacadora de ellas. El pase bien ahora, lo llevamos, recuerda, está duro, para arriba, está fácil, lo llevamos, está adelante, vamos para el juego, está bien muchachos, seguimos el juego ahí, vamos, un cambio, un cambio.
Well, that was an early timeout called by the Dominican Republic. They're down 4-1. They had built some momentum in that last set. We saw, as you mentioned, some terrific rallies here between both nations. Block defense was elite. But here's the thing, no team's really been able to hang with Japan in their level throughout an entire match.
It's the way that the Dominican Republic swing. They need 5 sets to get things done. It's a swing by Ari, it's too long and she's frustrated. But for the Dominican Republic, it's 1 point in the right direction.
Here's the other thing. Some teams, I mean, at this level, you let up a couple of points and it can become catastrophic. Japan, never. Like, you see a player express frustration, but then they move on to the next point so quickly.
It's very much the Italian way in Paris. Quiora, Julia Velasco, the coach, phenomenal. Just 1 point at a time, move on. 1 point at a time, move on. They didn't drop a set. Rather like Japan at the moment. Great mindset in life, and if you're a golfer particularly. You could see her winding herself up there, Hineri Martinez, but it didn't go to ground, and instead, WADA shows her the way to go.
Well, WADA deserves her flowers. She deserves the praise. She is putting on a clinic for opposite hitters with all of the angles she's attacked at.
Wow. You hit me in the face, I'll hit you on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Truly, she is just, it's a bit of a revenge thing. And Japan has a reputation, they would even admit it, of being really nice, really friendly, happy players. But they speak louder with their actions sometimes.
That's a lovely ace. Airi will claim that. But that ties into what we were told by Fahad Atlas at the start of the week. I want more aggression from this team. And look what we're seeing.
Well, and it was on attack. That's where he was really specifically speaking about it. Sometimes they can have softer attacks, whether it comes to roll shots, playing easier balls when it gets to crucial moments, but it's been so aggressive.
Ishikawa, too good for Gaila. Peña Isabel is on for Matos. Marcus Kwiek going for his tried and tested. They need something big because 9-2 is not a good look if they're trying to save this set to stay in the match.
Well, one little detail. So Martinez, I'll say it in a second. So Martinez is getting a lot of balls, and she's usually counted on at a crucial situation, whether they have set point, match point, or they need to get out of a rally, and they give her the pipe. Akbash has said, let's limit how many pipe balls she scores in crucial moments. She has not had a single one this match.
La va bien. Si está buena bola, puede darse, la jugamos todo. Riley va por una Nasi, pero alta, no le dé bajita la bola a Nasi. Gaira tiene, ella va por atrás, puede dejar entre las dos. Entre, between. Zaguero, between. Entre chiquita y el pie. Jonka, primero el pase. Primero el pase. Después sale por el juego.
Vamos, duro, duro.
So this is a moment right now where the Dominican Republic need to honestly refocus, forget about things, have the mind of a goldfish, short memory. What can you do to raise your level? Down 2-10 to one of the best teams in the world.
Isabel. Shimomura, you're not going to fool Ariana. Sorry, you're not going to fool Shimomura that quickly.
Well, and guess what that is? That's a block. Japan wants a couple more of those, and they're going to get one. Shimomura, just so effortlessly, jumps up and reads that Rodriguez is going to dump the ball.
Picked up like a training routine for Ishikawa. Wada. Guyla sent sprawling again, and they just will not stop. They're in the fast lane, 12-2. So what can the Dominican Republic do? Got to change things up. So let's do a different diagonal. Marta comes on, Tapia comes on. So different setter and opposite. Marta, 34 years old, Tapia, 21 years old.
And again, congratulations to her and her partner who are expecting a baby in November.
He wants to get close to the net. That's perfect for Brownlee Martinez at last. But this has to be the first of many. They need a huge recovery now. Tapia, first serve in the match, in play. Ooh, it's a good block by Dominican Martinez. Quite low there for Shimomura.
Yeah, the monster block, that's what the Dominicans are known for. They continue to go on this service run. Fortunate after you put a couple of points together and you know you've got the Japanese in a rotation that's become a little uncomfortable for them to miss a serve. Sometimes there's rotations where you're like, okay, this is where we're gonna make some magic happen, and to miss a serve can take some wind out of your sails.
Off the net by Brownlee Martinez. So Tapia comes on strong, but Shimomura's up there waiting, watching, winning.
Well, sometimes it just feels like the Japanese are coasting, that they don't need to do much more. But another block! They're going to have some really good tape to go back to and be proud of.
8-3, can you believe it? They've actually doubled the number of blocks in the competition now. They had 3 in the first 3 matches, and now they've got 3 in 1.
Yeah, and just a reminder, it's not the stats that Farhad Akbash is worried about. Here's the thing, it's the positive touches. It's what they're taking away from the attacking hitters on the opposite side of the court. And he was really, really happy with their block against Canada. I thought their block was fantastic.
Caraballo. Trying to work something, ring the changes. Tapia is there, but the ball's flashing past.
Well, Shimomura, remember, very fresh. Didn't dress against Canada, so she's had a match day off. And you can tell she's got some spring to her step. Probably got a bit of extra time to also do some video study.
Big vote of confidence from the coach as well. She's back in the international fold and she's proving why. It's a scramble, but they'll get there, and this is the free ball. It's got to go over, so very much advantage Japan. There's the slide.
Now, there's going to be a challenge, I believe, for a double touch on Marte's set, because when it came out of her hands, there was a lot of spinning. So, oh, they're going to challenge a net touch. Pardon me. But there was just a moment in that rally where I thought, oh, there's going to be called for a double touch. Let's listen in.
Okay.
So they are challenging. I believe he wants to challenge mid-rally. The mid-rally net touch.
Challenged by center line, the net touch by Dominican Republic. Okay?
Yeah. Number 3, attack net touch fault.
So they're allowed to challenge a mid-rally, so it's not necessarily the last play of the rally that can get challenged.
So yeah, it's this mid-rally net touch by number 3. What I think they're trying to do, though, is they're trying to see if it might have been a double touch by the setter. Just because sometimes you get that replay challenge, but also it might have been a net touch. It was so long ago that it's hard to remember at what point this happened in the rally. But I think there was a misjudgment on that set. It was spinning so much when it came out of Marte's hands that I think it was a double touch. But you always keep playing because you never know.
So was there a net touch? We're all waiting. There's a big screen. What we are seeing on the picture, television picture, is exactly what the crowd is seeing as well in the arena, and we're waiting for the big screen behind the referee to show us if there was a net touch. As the video challenge team analyze the pictures from Bolt 6.
Also, do you know what Simomura's nickname is on the team?
Nope.
John. They call her John.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the backstory behind that, but when I was talking to Farhad Akbash about Simomura and just getting the day off here at Volleyball Nations League in Ottawa, he kept saying John, John, and I forgot that was her nickname. And yeah, that's just like the English John.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to find the backstory about that out. Okay, here's a look at
Here is the official review. Was there a net fault?
Oh, there is a net fault. And you saw a big fist bump there from the head coach for Japan. And I think one of the players felt they saw it from the Dominicans. So team effort.
Seems to be taking a bit of the plaudits there.
Yeah.
So much headspace she has on court.
It's amazing. Yeah, to be able to go back and say, I think there was a net touch.
The Formula One driver analysing the pit stops and watching the big screen as they're going at 200 miles an hour in a Grand Prix. Only the best can do that. That's just too long from Yoshino. She's the top scorer in the match, though. 19 points, 2 aces. 9 aces overall in this first week, and that's not necessary and not needed by Hineri Martinez. They need points, and at the moment they're just imploding. 17-6. They've stayed at the level, the intensity that Japan demand, and now set 3, it's dropped.
Well, we haven't really seen any team stick with them the entire match. And you heard Akbash mentioning earlier today in one of the timeouts with Rob Snook, he said these are the best 2 sets we've played. That Dominican is really pushing the limits. So are they pushing the limits now? Maybe not so much.
I think they found the limit, that's the problem. Canada were 26-24, 25-20 and 25-19. There's no way at the moment that Dominican Republic are going to get anywhere near 19. That's a lovely swing and a lovely point again. Wada. They sense they're on their way, Japan. They will not relent until they are at 25.
So much line. Like, there's just like half a court available to hit at.
It's tough when you're sent on. Tapia, she hasn't had too much play during the last season, and here she is trying to get herself going in the Volleyball Nations League, and...
Yeah, and here's the thing. She just can't make the defense either.
Marta going faithfully to Tapia. Up she goes. With a tip by Wada. Yoshino in defense. Ishikawa well off the net, but still cross court, past the block and the defense.
The Dominicans had some nice pickups here in this rally. There was run just tip over top of the block that they covered really well, but Ishikawa almost goes over top there. You don't see that often for the Japanese and the Dominicans. And there, nice ace.
They just keep on coming. It could be Yoshino, it could be Seki, Shimamura, Airi. Second ace of the match. So deceptive. Just perfectly cushioned. Everything is just so good at the moment. When you're in the groove like this, in any sport, it's just a joy to watch and play.
Yeah, very fluid, and the Dominicans are just unable to really get any rhythm going. And it's really that pressure, I think, starting from the serve for Japan, that they put on their serve reception.
So Arias is off and Geraldine Gonzalez on. Middle blocker for middle blocker. She's waiting now. Well, there's a point, but there's absolutely no celebration for Peña Isabel. This is painful.
Yeah, and Peña Isabel's been used as a substitute for the Dominicans every match at Volleyball Nations League in Ottawa, coming in midway through the game with mixed success.
First game she turned it, second was anonymous, subbed out. Well, she did what she needed to do there, with a little smile.
Yeah, and here's the thing, smart play by the Japanese block, because they delay it. They're trying to go up late so they can get that positive block touch, but it's just a little too late, and it goes off the back shoulder of Ishikawa.
Good lead.
Yeah, lots of communication in that backcourt, even from Kojima, the libero for Japan, who's on the sidelines for this match.
Such an enthusiastic person. I walked out of the arena with just following that, just non-stop chat.
How's your Japanese?
There's a lot of chat. I can do arigato, konnichiwa, dome. So we say it's a work in progress. A bit like this team, 24-19. 15 match points for Japan. And it's the captain, fittingly, on serve. That has gone off the block. So they've actually reached double figures.
I was wondering if that was going to happen or not, because that's if you ever play the game of crib, you never want to get skunked. But this would have been a double skunk.
So Japan saying, hang on, there wasn't a block touch. There's a smile from Marcus Vega. Come on.
I actually, you know what? I thought there was a block touch. I thought there was something that made contact, but here's the thing. The Japanese are really honest, and oftentimes they'll own up to it, because here's the thing, the challenge will catch it. So if they're not owning up to it, I truly believe there was no block touch, because they're so honest.
Was there a block touch? Trahan has called it, and that means it's 25-9. So that is the double skunk.